Have you ever felt completely drained after spending time with someone? You know that feeling, right? You walk away from a conversation or a gathering, and it's like all your energy has been siphoned off, leaving you feeling exhausted and empty. It's almost as if that person was a vampire, but not the kind you see in movies. I'm talking about the concept of a spiritual vampire, or what some might call a psychic vampire. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just a metaphor? A way to describe people who are negative or draining? And yes, it can be a metaphor. But let's dig deeper. What if there's something more to it? What if there are people who genuinely affect our energy levels in profound ways? Let's start with the basics. The idea of a spiritual vampire is rooted in the belief that some individuals have an uncanny ability to absorb the emotional and energetic resources of others. You've probably met someone like this, a friend or even a family member who seems to thrive on drama, negativity, or constant neediness. They might not even realize they're doing it, but when you're around them, it's like they're pulling the life force out of you. Think about it. After a long day at work, you might want to unwind and recharge, but then you get a call from that one friend who only wants to talk about their problems. You listen, you empathize, but by the end of the conversation, you feel like you've run a marathon. Your emotional reserves are depleted, and you're left wondering why you feel so low. This concept isn't just about being around negative people. It's about energy dynamics. Every interaction we have involves an exchange of energy. When you're engaged with someone, especially if they're in a needy or chaotic state, they might unconsciously draw on your energy to stabilize themselves. It's a fascinating, albeit exhausting, phenomenon. You see, energy isn't just a buzzword, it's a real thing. We all emit energy, and we can sense it in others. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt the tension? Or met someone and instantly felt a connection? Or conversely, a sense of discomfort? That's energy at work. Some people are more sensitive to these exchanges than others, and that's where the concept of the spiritual vampire comes into play. But let's not demonize these individuals. It's essential to understand that many of them are not intentionally trying to drain your energy. Often they're struggling with their own issues, insecurities, or emotional turmoil. They may not know how to process their feelings, so they reach out to others for support. It's a cycle of dependency that can be hard to break. Now, if you're nodding along, thinking about that friend or family member who fits the bill, you might be wondering how to handle these interactions. It's not always easy, but setting boundaries is crucial. You don't have to be available for every emotional crisis. It's okay to prioritize your well-being. One effective strategy is to practice self-awareness. Before engaging with someone who tends to drain you, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you feeling balanced and energetic, or are you already running on fumes? If you're in a vulnerable state, it might be better to postpone that conversation or limit your time with them. Another approach is to cultivate your own energy. This could be through mindfulness practices such as meditation or yoga, which help you center yourself and build resilience. When you're grounded, you're less likely to be affected by the energy of others. It's like having a shield that protects you from those spiritual vampires. And let's not forget about the importance of surrounding yourself with positive energy. Seek out those people who uplift you, who inspire you, and who share their energy in a way that feels mutually beneficial. These relationships can act as a counterbalance to the draining ones, helping you maintain a healthy emotional state. Now let's talk about the flip side of this concept. What if you're the one who's been unknowingly draining others? It's a possibility we should all consider. Sometimes we can get so caught up in our own struggles that we forget to be mindful of how we affect those around us. If you find yourself constantly seeking validation or support from others, it might be time to reflect on your own emotional health. Being self-aware means recognizing when you're leaning too heavily on others. It's about finding that balance between seeking support and being a supportive friend. It's okay to ask for help, but it's also essential to give back and create a reciprocal relationship. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, understanding the dynamics of energy exchange can be incredibly empowering. We can learn to navigate our relationships with more intention and awareness. Whether you identify as someone who absorbs energy or someone who feels drained, recognizing these patterns can lead to healthier interactions. So the next time you feel that familiar weight after spending time with someone, take a moment to reflect. Are they a spiritual vampire? Or is it a matter of energy dynamics at play? And if you find yourself feeling drained, remember, it's okay to step back, recharge, and prioritize your own well-being. In the end, we're all just trying to navigate this complex web of human connection. Understanding the idea of spiritual vampires can help us forge healthier relationships, maintain our energy, and create a more balanced emotional landscape. So, let's be mindful, let's set those boundaries, and let's embrace the power of positive energy.